Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's falconpaladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Evolution, which just means Brood War versus StarCraft 2 in a StarCraft 2 engine arcade map. Is this new music for StarCraft Evolution? It is. It's music I've not heard before. This is going to be Khione. It's going to be Rogue versus ByuN. Top left, we have Rogue playing the Brood War Zerg player. Bottom right, we have ByuN playing the purple Terran StarCraft 2 player. So again, StarCraft 2 versus Brood War. We can do this reversed. We can do this with Protoss. We can have a lot of fun with it. And it is Khione. Speed zones here through the middle of the map, which is interesting. And hey, new music. Good stuff, man. If you're interested in more of this, then check out HyperOne's channel. Check out his Discord server. And you can learn more about StarCraft Evolution. We got ourselves a hatch first here from Rogue. At around, I don't know, 16, 17 supply. We've got ourselves ByuN doing a command center first here on Khione. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I'm not entirely sure that I am. So yeah, man, we got some fantastic stuff here. Some StarCraft Evolution. A couple of my Twitch viewers are like, hey, man, where's your StarCraft Evo casting? And I was like, I don't know. It didn't seem that popular with the viewers, but we'll give it another try. We'll see if the response to this is better this time around. Vmon in particular asked for one last week and reminded me that I need to do one, so we're going to do it. So here we go. Oh, that music is gone. Is there a new track? Okay, then it goes into more standard music. Okay. They like added a new track into the mix maybe, so it's going to be 2 racks. No gas with the command center first tier. Hatch firsting. Yes, it's a 4-player map. Ah, it's a 4-player map? That's why this Overlord... Wait. Is it? No? Why is this Overlord all the way down here, though? I don't know. I don't know why he'd be doing that. So it looks like it's a mineral wall you can mine through to get access to a rich Vespene geyser base and a double gas base over here. You can mine through this to get there as well. So a lot of interesting features on this map. Liking it quite a bit. Is that rich gold? I don't know. Not sure if those are gold minerals or not. We'll have to look when somebody gets over there if they're going to. So it's 3 racks. Finally getting gas now. So it's Marines and Marines and Marines and Marines. We are getting metabolic boost for the Lings, which don't exist. There we go. Got 4 Lings here. Putting a macro hatch out front. Qu'est-ce que c'est? What is this? And then a 3rd base down here. Kind of got to worry about tanks setting up down on this low ground or Marines or Marauders shooting up that way if you're a Zerg player. So I love the macro hatch because you don't get queens, right? Queens don't exist. Well, they do exist in Brood War, but they're not for injecting. They are for spawn, broodling, and ensnare. Which, again, if you're a StarCraft 2 viewer, you're like, what the heck is that? It's a Brood War thing. Anyway, point is here, you have to get extra hatches to get extra larvae. That's how this works in Brood War. And there you go. Macro hatch again inside the main base. Something you see a lot in Brood War. Something you see not as much in StarCraft 2 just because larva injects are so good from the queens. Now, stims on the way from ByuN. Getting a bunker at the front. Just an incredibly powerful macro opening on both sides. They're going to be able to tech up. They're going to be able to get up to a ton of workers here soon. Speedlings through the speed zone, man. Look at them go. Loving it. Going through this little, these weeds that prevent vision. Thinking about like maybe setting up kind of an ambush from a move out here. I feel like that's just what we're doing for Rogue. Like if the Marines push out through the speed zone, the Lings go, aha! And they jump in. Yeah, Ling text to Zelnaga Watchtower says, oh, there's actually no Marines coming at all. No timing attack quite yet. There is a bunker. Ling dies before it can respond properly and get out of there, but we've got a factory coming in. Stim on the way, as we mentioned previously. And any sign of combat shield, we have to have another tech lab for that one, so no. Lings jumping in and trying to snipe that down, but no. Bunker too strong, repair too strong, Marines too strong. 4 Marines inside the bunker, like 6 of them outside of the bunker. Way too powerful. 0 Marines, man. Who said they're weak? Me. So a bit of a Ling flood attempt here, which is something we see, I think, more often in TVZ in Brood War than we do in StarCraft 2, but he's trying it here. Going up to a lair on these 3 bases. Got a bunch of gas coming in. Got a Hydra Den. Maybe it's some kind of a lurker bust attempt out of a Rogue. That could be pretty crazy. Lurker busting, something we see in Brood War. Again, not something that's really popular in StarCraft 2. So this is Rogue kind of trying to play it like he's playing a TVZ in Brood War, intriguingly enough. And so far, I don't know, ByuN seems to be rebuffing all these attacks anyway. He's worried about Mutalisks. He's got Marines inside the main, Marines inside the natural base being like, all right, if Mutas show up, I need to be able to have some anti-air to deal with them. Lurker aspect is on the way. You build that at the Hydra Den once you have a lair in Brood War. So there you go. Lurker aspect on the way. Handful of Lings here. Worker count is 45 to 43. Rogue has an advantage. ByuN not going for the fast third base. He knows there's a lot of Lings out, so he's going to be very, very careful about that third. Production tab does not have any sign of it there either, but it is a combat shield upgrade. So combat shield gives the Marines extra HP. Stim does stim. And some medevacs here too for healing and for mobilization purposes. Ling sees the move out. Says, okay, hold on a second. Do I have time to get lurkers maybe defensively? Here would be good. A lot of maps in Brood War have really narrow ramps leading up to expansions, and lurkers set up there can defend against Marines very effectively, but this map is not one of those. This map is not kind of a Brood War map. It's more of a StarCraft 2 map, especially with the speed zones, and especially with the wide open attack paths into your bases. So it's a lot harder to defend against this kind of a thing as a Zerg player. So swinging on up. Sunkens, yes. Lurkers, yes. Combat shield timing attack, +1 attack, also finishing up at the same time, yes. So one Sunken is here. Not going to be enough to handle this many Marines. Obviously, the Lurker timing is pretty much perfect. Rogue going to get up there and burrow behind. He's going to snipe down the Sunken. Nope, not with Lurkers here, though. He does get the Sunken, but cannot push any further there. Lurkers are so good against Marines in Brood War. Not as good in StarCraft 2 because they do bonus versus armored in StarCraft 2, which is an interesting departure from how they were in Brood War, but still. Now, drop inside the main base. Medevacs heal as well as drop. And no, bad angle here. I don't like this attack at all. ByuN, I think, stuck in there a little bit too long. Stood in there and stuck in there a little bit too long. Do we have any vision over here? Not really from Rogue. Dropping in the main base could be pretty darn powerful. 52 to 48 workers now. Unload, 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 unload. 2 lurkers. Scanning in, killing one of them, killing the other one, but the Lings themselves getting in work here too. They don't have any attack or armor upgrades. We're getting missile attack upgrades. We're not getting melee attack at all here. Not that we maybe can't do it later, because we can totally do it later. Moving out. Tanks now. Tanks help against the lurkers immensely. Obviously, these are gold minerals. I thought they might be here. Once again, you got to worry about tanks setting up or lurkers setting up back here and ruining your day. Overlord spots what's going on here. Zelnung Watchtower getting tapped, dropping the main base again. Is it enough Lings just to kind of do this? It is. They've got a Carapace upgrade now. That helps a lot against these Marines who do very, very high attacks quickly. Right? And so every one of those attacks gets negated by that armor. Queen's Nest on the way. What is this upgrade? He's not going on the Queen's Nest? Is he going Spawn Broodling? Oh my gosh. Is he going to Spawn Broodling these tanks? Dude. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. I haven't seen Spawn Broodling in StarCraft Evolution. I haven't seen a lot of stuff in StarCraft Evolution. Yeah, Lings, Hydras, Lurker's going to try to bust down to this reinforced biodome to get access down to this left side. Yep, and expand here, and maybe expand here. That'd be pretty hot too. Pushing out through the center very fast. Ling sees it. Good. Ling scouting as always. Third base from ByuN. Getting saturated by SCVs up that right side. And Overlord sniped again, being very active with these Marines. No Scourge on the way, but Queens are on the way. It's gotta be. It is 100% Spawn Broodling. He's going to try to Spawn Broodling these tanks and then deal with the Marines the traditional way. I kind of love it. So into the macro hatch we go. Hydra, Ling. Not bad here. The Lings are all dying. They're not that powerful yet. They got to fall back. Single Marine here. Holding his own against the Zergling there as well. Setting up, but guess what? We have Spawn Broodling. But it takes 150 energy. Unless they changed it some way to do a Spawn Broodling, and these Queens are not even close to there yet. So, curious to see how much energy it takes to do that. Look at this positioning, hitting 2 hatches at the same time with this tank position. Dropping here too, going after an extractor while you're at it. Drones are dying. Rogue not pulling them nearly effectively here. He's going Ling Hydra. Where are the Queens? The energy they need, I think that's probably 150, 80, man. Not even close. Not even close here. Can he dislodge this before the hatch dies? Lurkers defending the inside of the main base. Can't do much about these guys outside, though. Hydra's high grounding, sniping one of the tanks. That will get a little bit of a reprieve there. And we're just Ling Hydra counterattacking. Holy smokes, we're doing that. All right, fair enough. Yeah, that's going to wipe that out. The tanks are going to die. And continuing to bust at the front there, it's forcing ByuN to pick up and come back home because he's like, holy crap, that's a lot of Hydralists. And a bunch of Lings here, too. Again, these Lings, I'm not sure if they have Adrenal or not. What is the graphic for that is the question. Tank sets up. Marine plus tank. Pretty good against Hydra. Trying to get inside this main base. But man, Hydralists with +1 attack, +2 carapace. The army's going to come back home and deal with this, but this is giving Rogue a lot of time to breathe. That's an extractor. Okay. So eventually they get wiped out, but man, they killed tanks. They're killing Lurker shenaniganry, killing more stuff. And then just mass Hydra. No Dark Swarm either. Just Queen Hydra. It's where, I mean, we do see this in Brood War where we see a lot of Hydras against tanks and stuff, but usually with Dark Swarm to help negate some of that incoming damage. Or all of it, depending on how things go. But yeah, these queens are... There we go. So now they're at 150. I think it had to be 150 for spawn Broodling. So he's going to try to snipe some tanks, and then the Hydras he's going to rely on to get the rest of the damage done here. Still only have +1 attack. These are not +2 Hydras. These are not getting +3 or anything like that. Army value is 81 to 73 here in this game. And yeah, the Marines are trying to cover against these queens. It's another track charging in. Here we go. Fighting on in right now. And there we go. Getting a tank on the back line there. Queen did take it down. Another spawn Broodling. Yes. No. No. There it is. Wha-bam! 2 tanks down simultaneously. The bust in by Rogue is intense right now. 28 SCVs have died. Hydra standing and fighting against Marines. The Queen's dealing with the tanks as much as they can, but reinforcing tanks coming out, reinforcing Marines coming out here too. Army value 45 to 41. Not a lot here from Rogue. It's not like it's crazy maxed out. But yeah, I mean, these Queens definitely, it's 150 energy. Yep, to do a spawn Broodling. It does like a little green laser onto the tank and then it dies. Pretty neat. Does it create Broodlings? I don't feel like it did. Rogue continuing to push up this direction though. Ensnare is on the way. Let's see a little showcase of Ensnare. I love that. Oh my gosh, an infested command center would be so hot. In a StarCraft Evolution game, what a match this is so far. We got some spawn Broodling shenanigans. We got some drops. We have some Lurker plays as well. We're getting Ensnare while we're at it. More Lings coming in. Any sign of Hive Tech today? We do have the Hive Tech. We have the Adrenal for the Lings. Which one of these looks like Adrenal? I don't know if, I mean, this one, I guess? That one. It's gotta be that one. So he does have Adrenal. He's got +2 armor on those dudes. I don't think he has a +1 attack on them at all, though. Drop up the left side from Rogue and just into too many Hydras. Just too much. Sniping the medevac so it can't... Yeah, so the guys inside the medevac die is a good move. Up the right... Oh my gosh, get it. Get the orbital. Infest the orbital. Is that in StarCraft Evolution? I don't even know, but please. Please, I hope it is. And the Queens... Oh, what are the Queens doing? Enki has left the game. Maybe he was lagging out. I don't know, but sniping that base is such a big deal for Rogue here. Maybe trying to set up, take a gold base here. The Queens, not in position. Not in position, maybe. Maybe they can get in here. Little spawn Broodling on these tanks. Wipe out these Marines, and then infest the command center. That would be just the coolest move in 2025, in my opinion. Hydra trying to knock through this reinforced biodome. They'll get there eventually. Still that +1 attack, man. +1 melee is on the way. Gamete Meiosis, I think that's what that has to be. Energy for Queens. Dude, we're getting Queens in here. I love Evo so much, but I do feel like most StarCraft 2 fans are like, oh, you got Brood War in my StarCraft 2, gross. Or the other way around, like, why is my Brood War in StarCraft 2? Disgusting. And I just can't agree with you guys. I have a really fun time with this. So we might just do one of these a week from now on. Gotta give the me what I want. Defiler Mound is on the way. A little bit late, 14 minutes, but whatever. Another base popping here from Rogue at about the 12 o'clock. Rogue's maxed out. 180 supply to 158 from Rogue. It's not that much. And then this little island base expanding as well. Rogue is feeling pretty good about his chances in this game. Ultralisk Cavern on the way here too. Loving a good Ultralisk. Can knock down this ice with attacks. Do you think fire bats do extra damage versus these ice blockades? That'd be cool. I think that'd be cool if they did. Creeps coming in. Maybe one for a sunken, a couple for a spore here to help with incoming drops. Consume's on the way now that the Defiler mound is done. Consume allows the Defiler to eat a ground unit or an air unit. Eat any Zerg unit. One Zerg unit to gain a bunch of energy. It's kind of a nice way to get energy up quick with those Defilers, but it takes a while to get there, obviously. We're working on, what's that, Anabolic Synthesis first instead of Chitinous Plating. Interesting here from Rogue. I gotta say, he's pretty much happy to be maxed out. ByuN's pretty happy to be maxed out here, too. Got a bunch of SCVs. Gonna build some turrets here, so the Queens have a hard time getting in, and then thinking about poking in Rogue. Not quite. Not quite, not quite. Jumping in. Queen. There's a Spawn Broodling. There's a Spawn Broodling. There's a Spawn Broodling. I don't... Oh, and is that a Dark Swarm? No, it's an Ensnare on the Marines, reducing their attack speed and their movement speed and forcing them to fall back. I am hearing Broodlings die, but I'm not seeing Broodlings come out of these tanks when they die. Oh my gosh, infested, 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 infested. Infested, 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 infested. Ooh, Ghost doing some snipes against these Hydras. Big fan of that one. Rogue is teasing us so hard right now. I need you to infest one. There's a snipe. Good snipe again. Oof, I get to say things? I'm an obs. Cool. Never actually done that before, I don't think. Another ensnare going down there. Sniping these Hydras as much as they can. Slowed. The attack is slowed as well. Ultralisk shows up. One Ultralisk here. Chitinous Plating is late. Oh, it's a giant group of Ultralisks. Sniping the Ultras is still good with the Queen. Siege tank shots against them are so good too. Holy crap, they're fast, and that's it. Rogue GG gets the win in 17 minutes. Wow, those Ultras were zippy. I mean, that's why you get the speed, is they can close the distance on the enemy units fairly effectively. But man, I feel like those Ultras are faster than even they're supposed to be in StarCraft 2 or in Brutal War with the speed upgrade. Look at, okay, I'm in the speed zone, yes, but even outside, well, no, actually, is it because they were in the speed zone? Oh, I think that helped a lot. Wow. So GG, man. Rogue getting ahead. Great macro opening. Just too much. The Ensnare was awesome. The Spawn Broodling on the tanks was super cool, too. I need to see Broodlings. I need to see them. I'm hearing Broodlings. I am not seeing the Broodlings. And maybe it's because the units that are being Broodlinged are under other units. But we're going to slow this down. We're going to wait for the Queens to jump in here. Tanks sieging up. There you go. 1 tank, 2 tank, 3 tanks, 4 tanks sieged up. And the Queens jumping in. Bam. Oh, that's an Ensnare? I don't know. There's one. Where's my Broodling? Yeah, I don't think they figured out how to give it a Broodling. Which, I mean, to be fair, it's not like the Broodling makes a huge difference most of the time, but a Broodling that comes from a tank that is on top of another tank and causes another tank to shoot at it, thereby harming his friend with splash damage, is a kind of a big deal. So I'll have to ask Hyper1 about that. Maybe they don't have the ability to create a Broodling there on the Spawn Broodling spell, even if it erases the tank anyway. That was fun. That was great. I had a lot of fun with that. Certainly hope you did too. I mean, that was really, 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 really good TVZ there. Excellent, excellent Evo game. Thanks again, Hyper1, for the replay. I'll put a link to his channel in the description so you know you can follow him if you want to. But yo, yeah, StarCraft 2 map, a new map, not a StarCraft 2 map that is in the current ladder pool, or has ever been in the current ladder pool, but it is a StarCraft 2 map because of the gold bases and the Vespene geysers and stuff, and other ones are Brood War maps. So, just so you know. So, man, that was great. 26,000 resources lost by Rogue, 20 by ByuN, but Rogue comes out on top anyway. We lost 1 Ultralisk, 8 Queens died, which seems like a lot. 187 Marines died, gross. An Orbital Command, 50 SCVs, only 8 drones went down. That's kind of a big deal here, too. Income tab is largely favoring Rogue through this game. The lines are thicker than they are in regular StarCraft. I wonder what that's all about. It's like they had to make their own income advantage tab. Kind of like jinked it a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, spawn broodling on the tanks. The Marines can't really hang against a lot of what else is going on here with the Ultralisk especially. We didn't actually get up any Plague or any Dark Storm. I think that's Plague researching right there. Looks like Plague, but maybe in another TVZ next week. Hope you enjoyed it, because that's going to be it for me. This has been falconpaladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Evolution, StarCraft 2 versus a Brood War. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, all at /falconpaladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.